Hey, and welcome back to Talk a Better Worlds. I'm SirFelixTheCat, and with me, as always, we have Hawk. How's your day going?
Oh, it's good. How about yours?
Not too bad. What have you been playing lately?
I have been playing cycling between Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC, God tier, S tier, beautiful experience.
It's
A little bit
impossible.
of it's impossible. Yeah, it can't be ported to P. I'm playing a fantasy. But I've been playing that, a little bit of Helldivers 2 because I have to do my part always, and then a lot of bit of Sims 4 because I am desperately addicted to that game and it's hard to put down. But what about you?
I don't know. I need Nintendo to get like Sims onto Switch somehow. Maybe Switch
That'd be
2 can do
awesome.
it. Because I think Sims 4 is on PS4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on PS4.
Yeah, so it should be able to do that. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
I've only been playing a couple games. Main one I've been playing is Yakuza Kiwami since it's on the Switch, and that is just a fantastic port. I've had like a couple frame dips, but it's when I'm running around the city and I'm not in a fight. So it doesn't really affect me in any way. It's just like it might stutter for like half a second, but then it's back normal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Or when I go to start a little RC car race, it might do a little stuttering there, but it's not during the race itself. So again, it doesn't matter.
It's like that load stutter. That's fine.
Yeah. Which I hate that mini game. Like I've come to the conclusion Kiwami is probably one of my favorite games. Like it's definitely way up there. It's addicting. It's fun. I like most of the side games. Mezu King, the card battling one, is a little much because it's a little awkward. It's women dressed as bugs, but they're wearing like thongs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. And the final person or the final two people you fight, I don't care for. It's so stupid hard. I looked up guides and the guides just lie to you. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna go counterclockwise the whole time. And he's gonna start with this one. No, he does not do that. Nope. But besides that, I was playing the Pokemon trading card game on phone since that came out. And that game is dope. Like it's when I first saw the trailer at the whatever showcase that Nintendo showed it at, I thought it was going to be cool, and I didn't think it was going to be as enjoyable as it is. Like you get to do offline battles, which I appreciate. It makes me feel like I'm playing the old game on the GBA, but with less gimmicky nonsense. Because the GBA one, I swear, decided try to cheat you sometimes. Like the computer was just like, nope, this time you're just going to lose. You're just going to lose everything.
Probably.
Yeah, and on this, it's more fair. Like I've lost some battles, but it doesn't feel like I'm just being like ripped off.
Yeah.
Where you have to like do the same battle 20 times because it's just like, nope, you can't get any cards. I actually went through my whole deck once, and I thought that was kind of crazy. Never had that happen.
What's it called?
Pokemon trading card game.
It's just called Pokemon Trading Card Game?
Yeah, I think it's Pokemon TCG.
TCG Pocket?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm going to download it. I definitely want to try it.
Yeah, besides that, I played Pokemon Go for the first time in like a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
Which that was kind of interesting. So they're still having like the Halloween theme stuff up. So you get to see like Pikachu with a witch hat and all that nonsense.
That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, that was that. But let's get in some news. And here's a quick warning. I'm not trying to get too political, but the first story is pretty hardcore political, but it's something that I feel falls into our category. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about that one. So let's get into this. Share my news. All right. So this was a commentary report by Yahoo Finance. Trump's tariff plan would hit a key voting bloc's favorite pastime, video games. Because his tariffs were to, it would enact a 60% tariff on Chinese imports and 10 to 20% on all other imports. That means games coming from Japan. And also hardware comes from China and Japan. So consoles would go up in price, like new consoles. Like say the PS6 and Xbox, whatever the heck they're going to do after this. Those are going to be significantly more expensive just because of the tariffs. And
God, dude.
Yeah, that makes me so mad, especially because I play a lot of JRPGs. So I'm going to pay an extra like 10 to 20% on my games. Like there goes Dragon Quest, there goes Tales of, everything else I love, Pokemon. Yeah.
Like, why do we do this? The only people this hurts are the consumers.
Yeah.
This doesn't like, yeah, it's a tiny little nick in the bottom line of companies and countries and stuff. But like when we're talking like countries' GDP and megacorp money here, like it doesn't hurt any of them. All it does is hurt us.
Yeah.
And we're already hurting.
Side note, these look a lot like Vesties.
They look cool. I like the little figure, the winged lion thing. They're pretty dope. Yeah. It's nice shoes.
Yeah. That's something that I just want people to keep in mind. Anyways, moving on from political stuff. Nintendo launched another app besides the Pokemon trading card game, and it is a music streaming service. In order to use this service, you need to already have a Nintendo online membership, just the basic tier, the $20 a year one. Mm-hmm. But this only works on your phone. They don't have an app for the Switch, which I kind of get. You don't really, if you're using your Switch, you're probably playing something.
Yeah.
But this has like a bunch of video game songs, like songs ripped straight from the games. There's a playlist, which isn't the one I'd recommend the most, which is title songs. So it's just a title screen song. It's like 40 seconds long. So you're going to fly through songs. Yeah. But I was playing this while handing out candy on Halloween, and no, you get like full long tracks. Like I believe there was a Breath of the Wild one that was like 5 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
Which was funny because a girl walked up and she was like, "Oh, is that Star Wars?" And I started thinking like, it sounds a lot like Star Wars, but no, this is Link riding his horse.
Yeah, I could get the confusion. If you're not too familiar with it, I could definitely understand that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I've never played the what is that game called?
Splatoon.
Splatoon. I've never played those games, but it's like some crazy techno J-pop stuff. It's
dope.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
I want to play those games, dude. They look good.
Yeah, and it's not just Switch music. It goes all the way back to like N64 and stuff like that, and GBA. Cool. I was listening to the opening theme for like one of the Kirby games on the regular Game Boy.
That's dope.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. It's
worth
checking out if you have the service. I'm not saying go out and get Nintendo Online just to get this, but if you have it, might as well pick it up, downloads for free, and you're not charged anything extra. It's just part of your service now.
Yeah, kind of sucks that you have to have their stuff to get it. Because like this would sell just like everything. This would sell crazy good if they put it on its own thing. If you could just buy it as is, or pay for it monthly.
Alarmo sold out.
Just, I mean, I'm like, are we really surprised though? It's Nintendo. Like, it's just like Apple products. Like the moment something new goes up, no matter what stipulations they have, it's gonna sell out.
Yeah. And then I feel like we talked about this one, but I'm not really positive. Outlast is getting a movie.
But
it's by Lionsgate, so I have some hope because they're one of the more decent ones for horror movies. I don't know how faithful it's going to be, but it should still be decent.
Lionsgate is good. I like a lot of the stuff that they do, but I have no faith in adaptations or sequels or, remakes at this point. So I'm going to assume it's going to be terrible, but I hope it's good because the potential is there. Outlast is awesome. Outlast Trials was fun when we played it, but like the first and second single player games are just the best of the series, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I want to stay hopeful for this one. I just hope it's not like how Paramount did the Five Nights at Freddy and it was just a joke.
Yeah, it was like a teen-rated movie or whatever. Like it didn't have any violence or blood.
Oh yeah, dude. If this isn't rated R, that is going to be bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way you can really do it without being R. Like watch our stream, and without us talking, the stuff you see and hear is rated R.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they do it. So we'll see.
Yeah. And then here's an interesting one. So there's an AI powered Minecraft that runs without a game engine. It only runs at 20 FPS though, but it's a solid 20 FPS. I just found it interesting that they're not using a game engine of any sort. It's just pure AI running it.
That's interesting. I don't understand enough of the background coding stuff of AI to like know how this is even possible. But I feel like since AI just regurgitates everything that it's fed, is this not probably some kind of theft at the very least?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. I'm waiting for all the lawsuits to start popping off on AI. Like it's just stealing my stuff. We've had it with art. We've had people claiming art like, hey, that's mine.
Yep.
I'm sure. Yep. I think we've had it with music too.
Yep. Oh, with everything. It's everything at this point.
Yep. It's great stuff. And then last bit of news. So Wolverine video game going to new creative direction. It dumps the Miles Morales directors. So the head guy, the head director of the Wolverine game, left the studio and he actually moved over to Microsoft, and he's now the head art director of Perfect Dark.
Oh, okay.
Which I want to talk about that one really quick. So Perfect Dark, it was announced not too long ago at one of the Xbox game shows, but it looked like it was like coming along pretty far. So if they're just now bringing on a new head director, that worries me for that game as well.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, man. Whenever the foundations of the house start to shake during video game development, 99% of the time, the product that we get by the time it's out is just not as good as it could have been or total trash.
Yep.
So
yep.
I want
be crazy.
I want the Wolverine game to be good, dude. It needs to be bloody. It needs to be faithful to the source material. And that could even mean like a little short guy. That'd be cool too. A short Wolverine would be awesome. But like, I want it to be faithful. I want it to be bloody. I want it to be written for mature audiences because we have way too many games and movies that are not written for people over the age of 10 years old. And I'm tired of it.
Yep. It's got to be done. But yeah, we'll move on from that. Yeah, that was news. It was something. So today, talking about Blast from the Past, basically. What is one of your favorite movies growing up as a kid?
Well, when I was real young, I loved the Star Wars movies, and in particular, a hot take, I loved the prequels. I liked them more than the original series. But I watched.
We all commit blasphemy. It's okay.
Yeah, I think they're better. Hey, but I mean, okay. So let me quantify that. I think they're better, mainly because of nostalgia. But from a writing perspective, they do kind of suck. I'll admit that. But no, I liked. I didn't watch too many movies when I was super young, outside of like the Beethoven movies and stuff, which we talked about before. Yeah. But what about you?
I mean, my favorite all-time childhood movie was Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland, which is a anime, and it's beautiful. Definitely something that most people don't know about, but they should absolutely check out. It's got to be somewhere streaming.
Probably.
Yeah, let me actually see, because that is worth it.
Or it's lost to the void.
Yeah, 1989. It is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I just thought of one. I watch this all the time. The Borrowers. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
Dude, first of all, that movie is incredible from a technical perspective because of how they did, like they made the people so small without really using CGI for most of the scenes. It was like scaling tricks and stuff, kind of like a more advanced version of what they did with the Hobbits and Lord of the Rings. but it was incredible. Like from a technical standpoint, it's a kind of dumb movie, but I loved that movie.
Now, do you think those things still hold up today?
Probably not. No, I mean it's still probably good in like from like the artistry standpoint with the technical stuff, but like as a movie as a whole, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like you start off with Star Wars, and I was like, well, I can't go into that because most people don't like the new Star Wars movies, so that would just be a bad jump.
Yeah.
Like, do you think the old one's better than the new ones? Absolutely. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people agree.
If you didn't agree to that, I'd quit.
No, I mean the newest movies were great. I mean the action was phenomenal. You see people's weapons just disappear. It's great.
Bloop,
math
gone.
means nothing.
Yeah, math. Let's use the ruins of the Death Star, which shouldn't be there to begin with, as a map.
Yeah. God, now I can say for me personally, I've watched Little Nemo a couple times this year. And this movie absolutely does hold up, but it's also anime. So I don't know if I want to count that.
Yeah, it's kind of timeless.
Yeah, anime doesn't get old. I mean, this is a kid's story, so it doesn't hit the same way, but it still has like that same vibe and feeling to it that you can tell this is something awesome. But overall, old media we watched back in the day, like take some old action movies. I know we've talked about action movies ourselves and how we like practical effects.
Yep.
Compare old action movies to current day action movies.
I think older action movies are better than most modern action movies in a lot of ways, but there are some things that modern action movies do that couldn't be done with older action movies. So like most older action movies had practical effects like squibs from when people got shot and stuff, and like they had like the exploding squibs. They had like sets that would blow up and stuff. Like everything had to be practical because CGI, I mean, depending on where you're at in time, CGI just wasn't a thing. Or if it was, which George Lucas kind of pioneered that, so it's like the late 90s, early 2000s when we really start to see it more. But I think that older movies, action movies in particular, they absolutely hold up over modern ones. It's just that modern ones, the stakes are usually like higher, if that makes sense. Because as we've become more globalized, like movies need to focus more on the scale of our society, which at this point is the entire Earth. So the stakes can feel a little higher. And they're a little more brutal, I'd think, just with less practical stuff backing it up.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and the CG does play a big part, because back in the 80s you could not do Transformers as we know it today. It wouldn't be possible. It would look, I mean, you could, it would be trash, or you'd end up having like a poor man's Godzilla.
Yeah.
Because that would be terrible. I mean, it wouldn't even be as good as Power Rangers, I think.
Oh, it'd be so bad.
It would just be a disaster. But like overall media, so like we also have video games. Compare your favorite video game growing up to like a video game you love now. I wouldn't say do Helldivers because we have nothing really like that back in the day. Nothing online cooperative of that kind of scale. But like a single player game. And and like look at not just like the visuals, because obviously visuals got better, but writing, plot, like every level of it.
So I would say I have a couple games that I could look at both then and now with like straight comparisons. One that comes on the top of my mind just as basic, maybe my favorite video game, but definitely one of my favorite video games from all time, then or now, was Freedom Fighters, which I made a video about it. We've talked about that before. Freedom Fighters, I will always love that game. I'll periodically go play it and beat it again. I just played it recently again, so like it's fresh in my mind. And the writing wasn't really great back then for that game. It was more of an action game. America gets invaded, fight back against the Russians, and you have your tactical side of it with the gameplay. But a game like equivalent to that today, I'd say maybe like, I don't know, Let me.
Call of Duty.
I get well because Call of Duty existed. You know what? We could do that. Call of Duty. So I actually liked the old Call of Duties. I liked Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 1 through 3. Like I liked the old Call of Duties. I played the hell out of them. But the direct equivalent would be today. What is Call of Duty today? It's a cesspit of like cameos and an online focus with, I think the new one has no ranked multiplayer yet at this point, which means, let's say you suck at Call of Duty and you do really good one night just because you happen to play with a bunch of people who also suck. Then the next time you go into a match, you're going to be playing with people who are just going to smear you all over the walls, dude. It's totally out of whack. So, and the campaigns are just stupid. They're usually rehashes of older campaigns that were way better, but just written in a convoluted way that makes little to no sense. And it doesn't hold up today. So graphically, they're all better.
The newest one, 6, it's campaign is from people who just play the campaigns of the game.
Yeah.
Like that's what they go to COD for, is for the campaigns. This is like the top one.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I mean, it looks more than just shoot. Like you're actually doing things, which I'll give them credit for that. Like as long as you decide to get out of your little cage, you're not just doing the same thing over and over and over and over.
I mean, here's the hottest of hot takes, especially for Call of Duty players. The last great Call of Duty campaign that I know of that I've played was Infinite Warfare. Because I play Call of Duty. I used to play Call of Duty mainly for the campaign, but I would play multiplayer a lot on like Modern Warfare 2. But Infinite Warfare's campaign was so good, dude. And it was more than yeah, it's like conventional kind of weapons, but you're fighting for a spacefaring government, and there's like a rebellion going on. And what's his name? Kit Harington, who played Jon Snow, is the main bad guy. It's so good, dude. I don't know anything about the multiplayer for that one, but that's a newer one that I think that really, really did well. But when did that even come out? Let me see. Came out in 2016. So yeah, I'd say basically that 2016, 2017 is the cutoff for good stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. At least for COD.
Yeah. But what about you?
I mean, a lot of games have hit that. Like you have Pokemon. That's another super long running one. And me and you did our list, and they got some takes. But one that I will not back down on is, at the time, these games were fantastic. They were beautiful. They were the games.
Yeah.
But Red and Blue aren't great games. People love them because nostalgia. And I say that's where it stops. Even Fire Red and Leaf Green, they were cool. I'm not going to say they're trash games, but they're not top tier games.
No.
At all. They don't hold up. We just have nostalgia, and people think like nostalgia means something, and it means nothing. That's why I've gone back and I play a lot of old games. I rewatch a lot of movies I've seen before, because let's see if it holds up. Like when I went back and watched The Matrix a couple of years ago, like or I guess it was last year, I watched 1, 2, and 3. Most of it holds up, except for I just see the rubber foo, and that makes me super mad.
I watched The Matrix recently again too. It was like last year or the year before. I think we watched it around the same time. But it's so corny. Like it holds up, especially practical effects and stuff. But the writing is so corny, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the thing. I think a lot of older stuff is very, very campy and corny if you really look back at it.
Oh yeah, especially movies. Movies were like, there's some cool action movies I love that were from like the early 90s, late 80s, something like that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're great, fun movies to watch. But are they like award-winning movies? No, not by any means.
No.
You just got to see big guy do something cool. That's really it. Explosions. What? Fire.
I think like our standards have definitely risen, as time has gone on, because we have gotten, even though most things aren't great, most things back then weren't great either, if we really think about it. And I mean, it's like the ratio of really amazing timeless stuff to really crappy stuff that's very niche that only a couple people like is the same today as it was back then. But nostalgia just makes us think that all of these things were better. But we have gotten, from an artistry standpoint, from a writing standpoint, from a visual and technical standpoint, in movies and books and video games, even music, we've gotten like measurably better stuff as we've moved on in time. In almost every like metric that you could measure for games, movies, whatever, we have better stuff today. It's just really rare to get that stuff that's that good. And it's hard to beat nostalgia with that stuff too. So you look at like Helldivers. Helldivers to me is one of the best games made yet, but I can't compare it to anything from my childhood.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, then we also have the people who look back at something old and it's just the greatest thing ever. I'm going to talk about Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Because Chrono Trigger is still listed as one of the greatest games ever. And yes, it is a great game. It is fantastic. But we've also gotten some great games since then. And it led the way. So I'd say it has to move eventually from like greatest game ever to most influential for a genre game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play Chrono Trigger again. I'll play it 1,000 times. It's great. I love its new game plus. But we've gotten newer stuff, and newer stuff did improve on what Chrono Trigger did. I mean, we have some indie titles that took Chrono Trigger and enhanced it. Yep. But yet we don't give that game the same praise we give Chrono Trigger. Yet people still praise Chrono Cross, and I have no clue why, because, I mean, I've played it multiple times. I beat it before. The game is trash. I don't care what anybody thinks. The game is terrible. Chrono Trigger is cool. Chrono Cross is not. But
no, I mean,
yeah.
No, it's like are we gonna get shit for that?
Oh, we might. I don't know. Probably not.
No, but I think like I've said this to you before, like just talking personally, like we are in a post Baldur's Gate 3 world. So like it's kind of like when we were in a post Witcher 3 world, or we were in a post John Wick world. Like these big things for movies and video games and stuff, they come out and they totally change the game. They totally change expectations for future games. And like with games in general, Baldur's Gate 3 is the most recent one. It took the bar that was at a high point and just brought it even higher. And now people in 30 or 40 years are going to look back on Baldur's Gate 3, and they played it when they were kids, recently, and they're going to think it's like as good as Freedom Fighters is to me. You know what I mean? And nothing can beat it. But at that point, we'll have something even better.
Yeah. I'm surprised so many people played that game, because there is like reading and listening going on in that game. And most people don't know how to listen and can't read.
Yeah.
It's shocking to me.
I want to see stats on how many people beat the game. That's always I always want to know how many people beat, because most people don't beat most games. I haven't beaten a lot of games. I haven't beaten all the games that I played. I have not beaten most of them. I will at some point, but I haven't. All of us can say that. But I want to see how many people beat it. And then if we could, I'd want to measure how many people like actually paid attention to dialogue and didn't skip through stuff. And like, I wish we could see that.
Yeah, a skip through ratio. That would be beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, but how could you not listen to people like Asterion, though? Like, first of all, his voice actor is incredible. Yeah. His character is incredible. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't want to discredit anybody. Like, the whole cast of that game is just so good. But Asterion is a big fan favorite. I mean, how could you not love/hate love him,
Yeah. But, I mean, so taking a look at that, like, people are going on and comparing things to Baldur's Gate 3. Like, we have it in the NDA. There was the fake NDA that went out for Dragon Age Veilguard, and there was the real one that was shown. Like, Paul Tassi actually showed the real one on Twitter He was like, this is what we actually got. Don't read that fake one, which you can tell was made in like notes or something like that. Like it's not even a legal document. It looks like trash. But people were like, oh, look they're saying all this. And it's like, well, you took half a second to read something.
I didn't even look at it. I did not pay attention to that part at all.
Oh, the one, like the fake one was like, don't ever mention the word woke. Don't mention anything about trans relationships. And it's like, this is so dumb.
That's
dumb.
Bullshit.
It was created on 4chan. That's where it came from. And people were running with it like, oh, this is fact. It's like, well, it's 4chan, so good chance it's a lie. Yeah. It's somebody out there like, I'm just going to troll everybody, and they fell for it. So good job.
It worked.
Yeah. But yeah, the real one was like, don't mention or don't compare it to Baldur's Gate 3. They don't want any comparison because it's not the same kind of game. And I understand that. It isn't the same kind of game. One's an action RPG and one is still tactical.
It makes sense. I think we talked about that before, where you can't do a 1-to-1 comparison between Dragon Age Veilguard and Baldur's Gate, but you can do a comparison in like the quality of writing or the quality of gameplay and stuff like that. And I don't think they're even near the same level.
I know. Veilguard is like the best game ever.
According to dude, there was that one review that I saw, and the chick came out and straight up was like, it's the best game ever made. It's better than Mass Effect 2. It's like nothing can beat this game ever. I'm like, come on. I mean,
now, if they were to say it's better than 3, I would. I don't know. I can't really argue that because 3 starts off great.
It does,
but then it's ending. The fact that shooting the hologram kid, isn't the correct choice, just right ruins the game.
It can be if you just turn it off and never play it again.
Yeah, that's one option. But there's a game that happens with a lot, and I hate it. I hate it. And that is Dark Souls.
Yep. Oh god, yeah.
The Souls-like of X genre. It's like, dude, go away. Go away. Not everything is a Souls-like. Most things aren't a Souls-like. And I'm not like attacking people like Iron Pineapple, who he goes out there, and I love his videos. He goes out there and he like tries to find Souls-like games, and he'll say like, this is the element that's kind of like Souls-like, and I kind of understand that, but he's just having fun playing games, and he's fun to listen to. But it's the people who go online and they're just ranting like, this is Breath of the Wild is the Souls-like of Zelda, and it's like, you're so dumb. How about it's the Zelda of the Zeldas?
Well, that's like the nuance problem. I mean, you and I both agree on this completely. There's a nuance problem with people, and everything is either A or B. So it's like, if a game like, let's say, Black Myth Wukong, it has a handful, maybe 5 elements within the game that are similar. Yeah. Okay. Do you drink something for health? Can you dodge? Do you have to rest at a bonfire? Souls. It has 5 or 6 elements that are inspired by the Souls games, that are similar to the Souls games, but the rest of the game is nothing like a Souls game.
Yeah.
But yet it's Monkey Souls. It's just, no, it's not.
Yeah, like there are the actual Souls-like games. Like there's that Pinocchio one.
Lies of P.
Lies of P. You have the other Souls-made games like Bloodborne. Yep. Those are Souls-likes, like 100%. They are Souls-like. That's what they were going for, and they kind of make that clear when they're talking about the game, like the developers themselves, like that they're making a Souls-like game. But we take everything to be a Souls-like, and it's so irritating. Like I've been waiting for the day that a new Castlevania comes out, and it's like, oh, this is the Souls of Castlevania. It's like, you're so dumb, because Castlevania has been doing that since day one. Like, if anything, Souls-like is the Ghosts and Goblins of Souls.
Yeah, I feel like people just think hard equals Souls, and that's just not one. There were games that were harder than Souls that were around for like a decade or two before Souls was even conceived.
Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins is stupid hard.
Like OG gaming was just stupid, dude. Yeah. So if anything, Souls games are inspired by those games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I wish would end. Calling everything a Souls-like.
Yeah, I'm sick of that. Well, it's like how everything got called Skyrim.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the other thing that Breath of the Wild was called. It was either Souls or it was Skyrim.
God.
Zelda Rim.
Zelda or Fallout or no, what was it called? Far Cry 3 was literally called Skyrim with guns. Like, shut up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure IGN had it. I think they had it on the box, dude. Like, they actually had that phrase on the box, if I remember right.
Good God.
It's terrible,
Good
dude.
God. Yeah. That's mind-blowing right there. Especially for it being like the third game in a series.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually some company we could talk about really quick is compare old Bethesda to current Bethesda.
Oh God.
I mean, they're still on the same engine basically, so it's comparing the same games.
Yeah.
They refuse to ever upgrade.
They won't.
But yeah, I mean, do you think any aspect has gone up for them? Besides visually, yeah, it does look better now. Like if you compare Fallout 3 to space game Starfield looks significantly better.
Oh yeah.
But besides that, has anything gone up? Because I think it's gone down. Like writing isn't as good. Mission design. I mean, I had some fun playing. I just forgot the name of the game again. Starfield, yeah. With some of their side quests, like that's all I was doing. The main mission is just, it sounds stupid, so I don't care about it. And I was doing side quests, and like I did about 20 of them, and I'd say 12 of them were good, which isn't bad.
I think there were two games that were the each end, two sides of the peak of the mountain for Bethesda. There were two games. It was Daggerfall and Morrowind. And those games were equally great in different ways. Daggerfall was way more like realistic in its simulation. I mean, you had to go to court after you committed crimes and you'd have to go to jail and stuff. Like it had way more to it. And the world, I think, was bigger than the size of England or the Great Britain. Even like the map was enormous. You were in an actual country. But then Morrowind really enhanced the writing side of things. It scaled down the environment, but the writing just got so much better for Morrowind. And then from that point, it just went downhill. And I'm saying this as someone who I love Oblivion. I love Oblivion. I love Fallout 3. I love Fallout 4 for its own reasons. It's not a good Fallout game, but it's still a good game. Like, I love all these things that they put out. Skyrim, I put thousands and thousands of hours into Skyrim. Thousands of hours into all of these games, really.
Yeah.
But I think whenever they put Emil Pagliarulo in charge of writing, they shot themselves in the foot. Him and Todd Howard have done some good things for the company, but they've really driven it into the ground in terms of quality, in my opinion. We both said that one guy, Pete Hines? I think Pete Hines.
Yeah.
If Pete Hines, when he was there, I don't know what he was running. I don't know what he was doing, but everything they made, even though it went down in quality slightly, like from Morrowind to Oblivion and Oblivion to Skyrim or Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, like there was a decline, but it was still good stuff that they were putting out. And then he left, and Todd gets to be the head honcho, and Emil Pagliarulo, who can't write for shit, becomes the head writer of these games. And you've got just trash, dude. Like Starfield, I was so excited for Starfield. I saw Starfield, and I was like, this is the game I've wanted since literally I was a kid. I've been dreaming of this game for decades. And it came out, and it was like a steaming pile of shit was put in my hand.
Yeah, because I mean, you booted it up, and then you saw something, you were like, pronouns!
Pronouns! Modernization! Pronouns! Yeah, I popped a blood vessel because I could pick he, him, or she, her.
Yeah, they, them.
Yeah, they, them. No, I picked Ghibli Beebly. That's what I picked. No, what really got me was the fact that you have a ship and it's pointless. There's no reason to have a ship. There's literally no reason.
I thought they like fixed that by the time I started playing it.
No.
And I didn't realize you had to then, like, after you're in your ship and you teleport to the system and you're looking at a planet and they do their little scan on you, you then have to open the menu again to land. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I gotta fly to this thing, and I'm like, okay, whatever, full thrusters. And I turned everything over to my engine, like all the settings, so I'm just gonna go faster. And I walked away for a minute, came back, and it's like, did I even move?
Nope.
Have I moved at all?
Nope.
That was mind blowing.
Well, actually, technically you did move, but you moved so slow that it's pointless. Yeah. And even if I think you showed me the video where someone did it. They let the game play for like 30 hours until they actually flew to a planet. And
they flew to the moon and then flew through it.
Yeah, it's just a PNG.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if they just threw Emil into the dumpster out back, got a good head writer, and then focused Starfield on, let's say, 15 planets, 10 planets, fully explorable, fully realized planets, I think the game could have been absolutely incredible and let you actually fly between these planets. That would have been a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, basically take what the Outer Worlds did, because they had their like few planets, and then just add the flying.
Yeah,
that's all they needed to do, and like add more story. Because I mean, Outer Worlds, I love the game. You have issues with it. I mean, we both have the similar issue with it, which is it's about corporations and how greedy they are and trash people, and it feels too much like real life.
Yeah.
And
it's good.
But like, the everything else is great about it. But they just need flying.
Yeah. And just make the worlds bigger. Like, you could still do, like, Bethesda still has that heart, that soul in it, where nobody else has really made games quite like they have. It just, nobody's really done it. And they also have the lore and the background and like the world building ability. Nobody does environmental storytelling as good as Bethesda. Hands down, nobody.
Like that, like in Fallout 3, you can find some door on the far side of the map and you open it up and it just says F you.
Yep. Yeah, like nobody does this better than them, and they have amazing talent and amazing skill and amazing people working on these games, but there's just a couple key elements that are absolutely a ball and chain attached to their ankles, and it's just that has caused the quality to just plummet over the last couple of games with them, to the point where I'm not even excited for Elder Scrolls 6, dude. And I actually, no shit, I cried when Skyrim was announced. I literally cried from excitement. I do not feel anything towards Elder Scrolls 6 now, which is, that hurts, man.
Well, I mean, it's going to come out in like 20 years, so don't worry.
Yeah, hopefully I'll just die and I'll never have to worry about it being bad.
Yep, that's a sad one. We'll just never see it.
No, and even if we do, it's not going to be like, I don't even have expectations for it outside of like, just do Skyrim or Oblivion, but a little bit better. Like, that's all I want.
Yeah.
And it's not like, that's the other part, is expectations. Like the Rockstar, the developers of GTA and Red Dead and stuff, as if everyone doesn't know that.
What's GTA?
What's that? Guitar? What's that? But they said that they're terrified of GTA 6 coming out because they think that people's expectations are so unchecked and wild at this point that they're going to think it sucks no matter what. And that's
it's got to drop and be a 20 out of 10. It's got to be game of the millennium. It's got to make Baldur's Gate 3 look like the worst game ever made. Like that's the expectations people have set, because they go online and dream up like these fantasy lists of what it's got to do and what it's going to be. And it's just like, you guys are just out of your minds. The same thing people do with the Switch too. Like, it's going to do this, this, and this. And it's like, no, it's going to be a better Switch. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's like, just chill out. Don't think about what you want the game to have. Just understand it's a new game in a series that you love, and it will either suck or you'll love it. And just accept whatever happens when it comes out. Like, but people have these wild expectations. Like you said, they amp each other up online.
Yep.
and it just goes crazy. And I think that is a big part of why everybody thinks that modern stuff sucks, because a lot of modern stuff does suck. Absolutely. But there are some modern stuff that is just hands down objectively better than anything else we've had before.
Yeah. Yeah, like Hogwarts Legacy.
Dude, that game's great. Like, politics aside, like, I don't, what's her face? J.K. Rowling or whatever. She's a POS. Like, all right, whatever, cool. But like, she had nothing to do with the creation of that video game. Yeah. And it's actually inclusive to a lot of people, specifically trans people in one area. So I don't get why people are mad about that. But like, from a gameplay perspective, it's what I always wanted from a Harry Potter game. And there have been many garbage tier Harry Potter games that I've played in the past.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, heck, before this one, the best one was the Quidditch game.
Yeah. Yep. Which they have the new Quidditch game out.
Oh, it already dropped?
Yeah, dude, it's out.
Oh, I wonder if that came to Switch. Probably didn't.
And it has a single player what's it called? Like a you go through the ranks and rise up through your team mode.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it dropped in September.
Yeah, dude.
And it is on Switch. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, dude.
Right.
I bet you're buying that soon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because I played the heck out of World Cup all the time, or whatever it was called.
Yeah,
that one was one of the best games I'd ever played at that time.
It was good. It was real good.
Like, for a sports game, it was the best sports game.
Yeah.
Which I'm specifically saying there's never been a perfect Madden or FIFA, because those games are just repeat trash each time.
Well, there you go. There's another one. The modern Madden, modern FIFA, modern.
What do you mean modern Madden? 2016?
Just 2016 plus 1, plus 2, plus 3.
That's what it's been. They just change the roster and like change a couple assets, if that. And then they say like, oh, we're adding this new gimmick. Now you can juke. And it's like, okay, well, you've been doing that for many, many, many years at this point. I mean, we had that in NFL Blitz, and you guys had Madden at the same exact time. So what are you talking about? New feature, the hit stick. Oh, we've never had that before, but we're going to call it something new. Now it's impact plays. Like, go ahead, dude.
Totally new, man. No, it just, do they even make hockey, like NHL, 2K, whatever games anymore?
I think they do.
Because my sports game, I mean, I loved the NFL games when I was a kid, but my main sports game was NHL 2002 or whatever, 2003. That game was so good.
Yeah, they did 24, 25, 22. It looks like they skipped 23.
Nice, dude. I gotta check those out. Are they good? Are like, have they done the same thing with them that they've done with soccer and football?
Fighting's gotten better.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they're good. I mean, I never had an issue with those. But they probably do the same thing too. Like, since we don't play them all the time, I'm pretty sure if you were to look at like 19 up till the new one, you might see one thing that's different. Like, I would almost guarantee that, because even basketball games, like I prefer 2K or these are EA. That's EA Sports, so they're going to be bad. But 2K was a superior sports game company.
Yep.
Their basketball games were phenomenal, but even them, they've been stale for the past like 5 years. It's basically the same thing over and over, and now the shooting's worse because it's all stick, and I think that's just a waste of time.
Well, they realized they could just put the same shit out and people will buy it no matter what.
Yeah. And then they've gotten, they're just as bad as Madden for microtransactions. Oh my God. Like, you have a hub city that you go to, like, you run around as your character.
Yeah. And
there's all these shops, and you have to buy things from these shops, like new shoes. You have to go pay for a workout session and all this other stuff. And it's so dumb.
That's stupid, dude. That's stupid. Yeah, we need like hockey, soccer, and FUBA, American FUBA, to be like whoever holds the licensing for those games. I think it's all EA, right? It's all EA/2K.
Yeah.
So take them and
Well,
force them to let the show.
Yeah, MLB baseball. I think
that,
that's just it's a Sony. Oh yes, Sony San Diego.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, because didn't you play the most recent one, or you had one that I saw you play before?
I have 22 and 24.
And they're still good?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're great. I mean, I believe there's microtransactions. You can easily avoid them if there is, because I've never done them. But yeah, I mean, their gameplay is good. But again, 22 and 24, there's not much difference in the two games.
Okay.
Yeah. You're still going to have that same issue where, since we're doing yearly games, like, yeah, I know I want to have my favorite players in there too. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm going to play a Madden game, I want to have Jordan Love. I want to have like my team for the Packers. Like, that would be fantastic. If I'm playing the Yankees, I want to have Juan Soto before they sell him, because that's going to be sad when he goes if they don't get to keep him. But yeah, I mean, it's still the same thing, just a slight bit of upgrade in the graphics, and then yeah, that's it.
Well, I guess from talking about expectations, like, aside from more realism, what can you really do to enhance a sports video game?
I want less realism. Less realism. Dude, the best football game, Blitz.
Blitz was the best.
It's the most fun. Because I don't need to actually play the actual season. Like, yeah, it's great to play football. But one of the ones that I've been playing is I was playing that indie football game last season. And it was fantastic because it wasn't real. It felt more like I was playing a game on the maybe Super Nintendo. Yeah. But it was fun. It had great hits. It felt enjoyable. And I don't get that from Madden. I haven't gotten that from Madden in a long time. I'm sure some people do. Good for you. I'm happy. I don't get that same joy from the baseball games. I'd rather have something with a little less realism, because it would be great. There was one on I don't know if it was the Dreamcast or the PS1. It was back in the day. But you could, as playing baseball, you could do like some blitz stuff. I could run out and tackle the first baseman.
Yeah, to me, the last NFL game that I played, I think, was like 22 or 23, and it feels way too technical, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like, it kind of strips the fun out of FUBA, and I'm not even a huge fan of FUBA, but like, I do have a nostalgic place for the NFL games because I used to play them when I was a kid on like PS1 and stuff like that. But it sucks that they made them so technical and didn't do anything to enhance the gameplay side of things. It's more so just like, we have the cards, we have the shop, we have different game modes. Like, we're not going to enhance the core experience. We're just going to throw more shit on top of it and see if it sticks.
Yep. Yep, and that's all the sports games too. So I'm looking at a bunch of them, like the wrestling games. They haven't done much to improve themselves. People say, "Oh, well, this one's so much better." It's the same thing though. The PGA games, I love them, but again, you can play one from the past few years, and you're basically playing the newest one at the same time.
Yeah,
not much changes. I missed the days of Tony Hawk because that was great.
Yeah. See, I love the skate games, which were a little more realistic. Still stupid, but like, they had the feeling of the skate games because you use the analog sticks to do tricks and stuff like that. It just felt more tactile than Tony Hawk games where you just press a button and do a trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You press a button and a direction.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry. Well, it physically felt better to play the Skate games than it did Tony Hawk. So that alone made me like, I love Tony Hawk games, but Skate will always be better for that, in my opinion.
You know what Skate didn't have? It didn't have that cheap little plastic skateboard that came with that one for the Kinect.
Oh, the Tech Deck?
Was that what they called it? Well, that
Like
was
the
the
little
little Tech Deck was the finger thing.
finger
This was the
skateboard.
actual like a no, this was a Tony Hawk thing. Like it was a full controller, which you're supposed to like be able to lean on and like do jump. Yeah, you do your tricks to the board, but you don't actually do like the actual trick. You just like lean certain ways on it.
That probably
And it didn't work
sucks.
half the time because it was not a good idea.
Yeah, that's bad, dude.
Yeah, it was Activision still trying to shill out their like plastic gimmicks back in the day because Guitar Hero did so well.
I don't know why, dude. I don't get Guitar Hero.
Yeah, Rock Band was much better. I think that was
Except-
the one. Didn't Rock Band actually let you play it, or which one was it? Guitar? No,
No.
Rocksmith.
Rocksmith. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Dude,
that was the best guitar game.
speaking of Rock Band, dude, you and I can both play real instruments: guitar, bass. I could do piano, drums. I think you could do fiddle on piano. Could do some drums. Drums was my main thing. If you could actually play an instrument, you sucked at Rock Band.
Yeah.
You sucked at Rock Band.
Yeah, same thing with Guitar Hero. Like I was absolute trash, and I'd been playing guitar for a while at that point. I'm just like, I don't like this. I don't like the way this feels.
Yeah. I bet we would like the Rocksmith game, though. I never played it, but it was cool that you plug a guitar in and actually play the stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you could actually learn how to play something. You would learn something while playing a game.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing. Like money management. I learned about money management really from playing Harvest Moon.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say like strategy games taught me a lot about money management and resource management and stuff like that. Like balancing what you have against what you want to do and what you can do. You know, like those three things are very different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, games can teach you a lot.
Yeah, but can newer games teach you a lot?
Yeah, I think there's like the core stuff, like hand-eye coordination and stuff. Studies have shown that like just video games in general help with hand-eye coordination. Playing video games.
Hold on. I gotta take the other side. Playing video games makes you a ruthless killer and a thug. I've seen that on the news before, many times.
It's got to be true. Yeah.
Yeah. If you play GTA, you're literally going out there and killing people every day.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, what, you don't do that? You don't play GTA, so that's why.
Yeah.
No, that argument has been just disproven over and over and over and over again, and it always comes back. Anytime there's some violence problem in the U.S., it's like, oh, it's the vidjas that made them do it. God, it's like when they said Marilyn Manson made people do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he convinced me to take out my ribs. I took out all of them.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. No, but the video games in general help with a lot of stuff. Problem solving, hand-eye coordination, critical thinking sometimes, depending on what games you play. So yeah, I think that still applies to some modern games.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think they also, because of writing and like quality of storytelling, I mean, that's where it gets hard. Like multiplayer, I don't think makes people smarter in any way.
No,
I just don't, especially not when it comes to like shooters and stuff like that. Like it doesn't. It teaches you like, especially on like some of the more, what was that one? PUBG. It teaches you that you can just go on and change your settings to be able to cheat the game. And like, yeah, you can still get like some money management skills out of a lot of RPGs and stuff because you do have to manage your money. But yeah, writing quality, I think, just has also helped people be more ignorant, like just dumb. It's also like, it's like TikTok in a way. Like TikTok, you can see some cool stuff. I mean, there is information out there. There's people who do cooking videos on there. And then there's a lot of just trash. which makes your IQ just drop dramatically as you watch it.
Yeah, which is actually true. Like you literally do lose like brain cells watching TikTok on it unendingly. But no, I think like there's games out there that have good writing, like Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, etc. I could probably list off 500 of them. There's still good games out there that have good writing that could like actually teach people stuff. But I think it's a matter of most people aren't paying attention, and most people aren't taking anything away from it because of media literacy. And just like there's also really bad, most of the games are badly written and they can't pay attention to them because they're incapable because of TikTok and social media and stuff like that. So I think it's both kind of.
I can see that. Oh, but yeah, I never went over my game from when I was a kid. Besides, I brought up Pokemon. That wasn't even the one I wanted to go with. My game from when I can't even say when I was a kid because I wasn't a kid when it came out. But it's like the first game I truly fell in love with. And it's a game I still love to this day. And that's always going to be Skies of Arcadia.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, that came out when I was, I think, in high school, maybe. Like it was GameCube or... So it would have released when I was in middle school because I was on Dreamcast. But I didn't play it till I was in high school on the GameCube.
Are there games like it? I'm looking this up. Golden Sun.
To an extent. That so I was telling you about and we did cover it on a previous podcast. Lufia.
Okay.
Is an old SNES title. That is what Golden Sun is. It's the continuation of Lufia, essentially. Like it has the same gameplay style and a lot of that. The story is kind of dramatic like that one, except you have summonable creatures in Golden Sun. I can't really name a game that's like Skies of Arcadia.
I wonder why nobody has really tried to make something like it.
No big studio has that I know of. I mean, the closest you could probably get is Suikoden 4, maybe, because instead of being in the sky, you're on a boat most of the time, sailing around doing battles. But that's still a Suikoden game. Like it's got the Suikoden DNA in it.
Okay, but that's it.
Yeah. There's not really many games like Skies of Arcadia. There's that Heroes for Hire, Sky Oceans. That's it's not really Skies of Arcadia like at all. There's a new one coming out, or there's another indie project some guy's been working on for a while now, and I have faith that his is going to be great when it comes out. I think I put it in my Sky Ocean review video. I mentioned it somewhere, but it's or near the end. But that one looks promising. But he's a big fan of Skies of Arcadia, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to make basically a new Skies of Arcadia.
Okay. I mean, that'll be cool. Did it have a big fan base? Like
Skies of Arcadia?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. It's loved. I mean, how many did it sell? Skies of Arcadia sales. Let's see. Oh God, it didn't sell jack.
That's what I mean. Like maybe it just didn't. Like everyone who played it loves it, but I feel like it must not have sold well enough for people to revive it.
Which is kind of like Chrono Trigger. Everybody who's played it loves the game. However, it's not worldwide loved. It's just the fans who love it are just like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And I get that. I mean, we all do that. I say that Skies of Arcadia is better than than Chrono Triggers. And that's my opinion. I'm going to fight for that because that's what it is.
I hope we get some engagement off of that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Chrono Trigger is a bad game. It's just not as good as Skies of Arcadia.
No, I think you mean the Chrono Trigger sucks ass and it's a terrible game.
Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross. Yeah, sorry. No, actually, no.
That
I
game
think
was
you
bad.
do mean both the Chrono games are terrible and nobody should play them.
Yeah, trash series, get rid of it. Nintendo never bring it back.
Trash. Nintendo is trash. While we're at it.
So this is for the GameCube. Let me share this. Or it's going to be too small. I'm not going to do that. Enlarging it makes it look weird. So this is for the GameCube edition of it. What is it called? Skies of Arcadia Legends. Copies sold in Japan, 0.00 million. North America, 0.17 million. Europe, 0.04 million. And others, 0.01 million.
That's not great.
No. No, but I mean, on the same site, this is VG charts, video game charts. They have the average community rating, 8.9.
I wonder, like, this is the problem. Okay, so if they brought it back for any reason, they would do so trying to bring on a wider audience, which means that it's guaranteed to be shit. If you like the old one, if they do make a new one, it's not going to be good. That's my theory on that.
I don't even want a remaster. Just because it does have like some sharp edges to it, kind of like, I mean, look at old Final Fantasy VII. It's just a bunch of sharp edges. Just get rid of those edges. Just shine it up. Don't change anything about it at all. Just shine it up. Put it back out.
And just make it have widescreen support so you could play it on modern stuff.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So when it came out, 1UP gave it an A rating. Eurogamer gave it an 8 out of 10. Game Informer a 9 out of 10. GamePro 4.5 out of 5. Where's the worst one? The worst one would be GameSpot. They gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
GameSpot. Do they even exist anymore?
No, I'm pretty sure they closed down.
Yeah, so it's got really good reviews.
Yeah.
Especially for back in the day.
Yep.
That's a shame, dude. Do you think they could make a game like it today? Like, do you think it's even possible to recapture that?
Not with today's writing. I don't know what happened to all of our old game writers, but apparently they must have all passed away because I don't know. They don't exist anymore. I mean, maybe they were in that one studio, Blue Studio or whatever it is that Netflix had that they decided to shut down the other week. Like maybe that's what happened. They never got to put out a game.
They work at CD Projekt Red, and the rest of them probably. Here's the thing: the rest of them probably are so jaded that they just don't want to be in the industry anymore, which I totally get, and or they're so experienced that most companies won't hire them because their starting like demand for pay is way higher than a company is willing to shill out. So it's probably just background stuff. So there are still good writers out there, but it's like another part I think is it's not only on the writers, it's also on the like the development studios who try to interfere with the writing way more than they should.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. The Dreamcast original version, it sold worse, but it was only on Dreamcast, so of course it's going to sell worse. But it got better reviews. Cheat Code Central, which I've never heard of, they gave it a 5 out of 5. Eurogamer a 9 out of 10. Game Informer 9 out of 10. GameSpot 9.2 out of 10.
What? You never heard of Cheat Code Central?
Nope.
Oh, dude. I don't know how niche that was, but I've been looking at them for years.
Yeah, they sold only in Japan because there's no other sales information here. 0.09 million.
That's sad, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, it was Dreamcast, and Dreamcast wasn't the best selling console. It was a cool console, and it was ahead of its time, which is why it didn't sell well, and lack of advertising and games.
Yeah, well, that time period was a real low for the gaming industry, too.
I mean, that was still Nintendo 64, which dominated. And yeah, that was it. You had a Nintendo 64, you had nothing. And then PlayStation.
Well, yeah, but it was also like gaming was seen in a totally different light at that point. Like
Yeah.
it was only for kids, and you were a weird, creepy, smelly nerd if you did it. Like that's that's basically the environment for gaming at the time.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna do one last little topic. Here we go. Which would be better? Old media or current day media? Just overall basis.
When you say old, how recent can I go for old media?
What year is it? Let's stop at like 2004.
Oh shit. Just in general.
Yep.
I think I gotta say new. But yeah, I gotta say new. Because the quality of stuff has just risen. And good stuff is few and far between. And there's an ocean of terrible shit. But if, like, I put a whole video out on this, if you look for the good stuff, you will find it. So that's my opinion. But what about you?
Yeah, I'll go with the same thing because, and I'm going to base this mainly off movies. We have John Wick today. We didn't back then.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And Mr. Nobody.
Yeah. Which I think they're getting a second one, isn't he?
I hope so.
I think so. But yeah, let's talk about a movie though, because I do want to talk about this movie because I think we're gonna have different takes on it.
Okay.
All right, so we watched Steel, which is I remember hearing about this when it first came out way back in the day, but this is Shaq's superhero movie, and it's interesting. I was looking at the reviews when I first got on here, and as you can see, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a lovely 8%, and IMDb was generous enough to give it a 3 out of 10. Now on Amazon, it was like an 80% or something like that. Like people love this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about it really quick. So basically, Shaq is in the military, and he's part of like the special, super high confidentiality level weapon making program. And they're making like these sonic weapons and laser weapons and all this crazy stuff. And things go down, things go bad. He ends up leaving because he realizes there's some corrupt people and he doesn't want to be part of that. And well, that corrupt person who he actually ended up getting discharged because he did his job properly, ends up basically just holding this complete grudge against Shaq and wants to basically ruin his life in every way he possibly can to get back at him. And from there, it's a pretty campy movie. Which it's weird. They make some adult innuendos, but then they say like, where is this son of a blanket or something like that? Something weird, like some weird word. Like why? If you're going to go ahead and make these like, basically a sexual joke, why not just go ahead and say the word?
I feel like it might have been for rating purposes because like they were real specific with words at that point in time.
Oh yeah, it was PG-13.
Yeah, so that's probably why.
Yeah, but give me your take on the movie.
So, well, I want to ask: is this like an official, like what is it, Marvel or DC superhero?
I don't think so. Oh yeah, it is. It is loosely based on DC Comics character of the same name. I thought he was just doing his own thing, but there was a lot of references to like Batman and Superman in it.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. I figured that. So for me, it's just kind of like the afterbirth of RoboCop and Batman. And the only thing that I could think of while watching it was Bible Man. Are you familiar with Bible Man?
Yeah.
That was at the forefront of my mind while watching this thing. So I think it was campy and stupid, but not terrible. The IMDb rating is 3 out of 10. I would go a slight bit higher than that because it had some okay stuff, but it was that's my thought.
I judged it on its time. So this was 97.
Yeah.
I like the old Batman movies.
Yep.
I like the what's his name? Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
At least the first one. The second one was a little darker, but the first one was great. It's very campy. It's cheesy. I kind of relate it to that. It was just more of a kid-friendly version of that. Because, I mean, even the first Batman movie, it gets a little dark, especially towards the end when he kills the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a more family-friendly version of that, kid-friendly.
Yeah.
I like what Shaq did. Like, I figured he was going to be bad at acting because he's not the best actor ever.
No.
But he didn't do that bad of a job, to be honest.
He wasn't terrible.
Yeah, he delivered his lines well. His action was interesting, even though there was a part with trains near the beginning, like early in the movie. And that was bad. That was just bad all around. Like even the other guy doing his stuff was bad.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be a little more generous with it. I'm giving it like a high 60s.
Okay.
Like a 6.5 out of 10. Because
I
see it for it being a kids superhero movie.
Yeah, I could get that. I wouldn't say that I would not like spit on that opinion. It's not a bad take for it. It's just personally, it made me want to watch RoboCop. It made me want to watch Batman. Like it made me want to watch other things because he looks reminiscent of RoboCop to me.
Yeah.
But it just made me want to watch these other things. And that to me is a sign of like, it's not for me, really. It maybe not terrible, but just not for me.
Yeah. I liked, there was one actor. Let me pull him up really quick. Loved his voice. Singer.
Yeah.
He's done stuff in like video games and anime and comic book related movies, like animated ones. His voice is fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, the cast of this movie is really good. Like there's a lot of really good actors and actresses in this thing.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff it's people you never see or hear from at this point anymore.
Yeah. This guy's name is Skinhead number 2.
What
dude, I was blown away. So like this isn't commonly seen too much in movies nowadays, but they straight up had like some white supremacist groups. I guess they were just straight up Nazis because I'm guessing they came from another country. But yeah, they had a swastika flag on their wall.
Uh-huh.
I was like, wow.
Different time, man.
Yeah, today that would have been edited to where like one of the arms bent a different way or something.
Or just would have been the Iron Cross on the flag. I hate that dude. Not that I do not agree with the ideology whatsoever. If you believe in it, you deserve to be kicked off a cliff. But it's real. It exists. If you're using that as a plot point, at least make it real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do like what the joke the skinheads made about the internet. It's like, yeah, you can buy all sorts of stuff on here. It's not just for watching porn.
Wait a minute. It's not.
So that was fantastic.
It had some good stuff to it. It wasn't terrible. I'll give it that.
Yep. All right. So let's go on to our last part as we get ready to close out. Let's do our SCP of the week.
Oh boy.
Oh, and before I do this, let me make a quick little announcment because I know I'm going to forget after I talk about this.
Yeah.
So our podcast airing time is going to change. We're going to, instead of being doing it on Saturdays, we're going to start moving them to Mondays. So we have this week that we're doing it, obviously today, as you guys are watching it. We're going to do it next Saturday, but then after that, we won't have another show until Monday, the 18th?
I think so, yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah, Monday the 18th. So no show on the 16th. That's when it switches over to Mondays. Just wanted to put that out there. Just going to help with our schedules. But before I move on, I see David hit us up. Movies are getting repetitive, running out of good ideas. Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's why we're getting so many remakes. Like, there's a remake coming out that I am going to watch when it comes out. The Running Man. I love the first one with Arnold. This new one's going to be weird not having someone like Arnold in it, but I'm hoping that they can somewhat nail it. But it is getting old seeing just the same thing over and over and over. Like, let's just rehash it again. Like, let's do 20 more Pet Cemeteries, because we don't have enough of that.
Well, here's the thing. Sequels and remakes we wouldn't feel the way we do about them if they were actually done well.
True.
We wouldn't. Like, because there's the nostalgia factor. The only reason these remakes and remasters and sequels and stuff sell is because of nostalgia. But if you did them in a way that respected the source material, had good acting, had good writing, had good people like working on it, then we would feel a lot better. It would be nostalgia and a good movie or a good game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, so we're talking about like remakes and stuff. Jumanji. Yep. So the first Jumanji with Robin Williams was great. I mean, for its time, at least, it was great.
Yeah.
And then we got the new one, which has an okay cast. It has Jack Black, The Rock, can't remember the chick's name, and then Kevin Hart. And it also has like one of the Jonas Brothers. I like the first one. Then they made another one, and then they're making another one. And it's like, okay, this has got to stop. Like, you were a one and done movie for a reboot. It should have been one and done.
Nope, you got to milk that cow, dude.
Yep. It's just frustrating. Like, let's get good remakes, good new movies, just good in general. Let's get some good.
Yeah.
But let's do SCP-2677. So it was a Keter class, now it's Keter class. It was formerly Euclid. Let's move down to what it is. Keister. Oh yeah, Keister. Yeah, so let's take a quick look at the art, because that just looks really cool. It's some server room, it looks like. It's just very pretty. That's why I stuck with this one.
I like that one.
But description. All right, so we start off with the -1 already. So SCP-2677-1 is a large device originally constructed. Let's get my glasses. Sorry. Realize this is all blurry. Constructed for data restricted. See below. Okay. -1 is sapient and is able to communicate through its main terminal. -1 currently exhibits behavior consistent with that of a clinical depression, or with that of the clinical depression in human subjects. So it's nice, but
relatable.
Yeah, birds aren't real. So I mean, it works. You're a sapient, not real thing.
We could get along real well.
So 2677 is the collective designation for two phenomena affecting certain individuals, designated -A and -B. Both phenomena are perpetrated by -1, although -1 claims it possesses manual control only over -B. -A is a phenomenon occurring at monthly intervals, first recorded on January 1st, 2015. -A exclusively targets individuals responsible for transport of incarcerated persons and is treatable through the application of Class A amnesiacs. Individuals affected with -A will redirect transport vehicles to -1's location. The subject will lead the vehicle's passengers into the chamber within -1 upon arrival, designated -2. Once all living passengers are placed within -2, the entrance will lock. 4 minutes after the entrance locks, all recording devices within -2 will immediately fail, and all individuals inside will disappear.
What?
We're getting crazy.
Just poof?
Yeah. -B is a phenomenon occurring at irregular intervals, first recorded on September 24th, 2017. -B has displayed no consistent patterns in who it targets, and there is currently no known way to treat it. Interviews with -1 have revealed little about the purpose of or nature of -B. Subjects under the effects of -B will typically display hostility towards -1. Victims of Dash B display an innate ability to locate Dash 1, which cannot be removed with amnesiac treatment. That's crazy.
That's weird, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's blocked.
Nice.
Cool. No, that worked.
Denied.
Yeah, I mean that kind of works. It's archived and it's clearance required, so it's blocked. I appreciate that. Due to the sensitive nature of Dash 1, information regarding the SCP has been restricted by the order of Site Director Harper as of May 12th, 2018. More clearance required. Let's go to up here really quick. So special containment procedures, because this doesn't make any sense. I don't see how it could be contained. It's a building, a room.
Yeah.
All personnel involved in the D-class recruitment process are to be fitted with Class A amnesiac implants during active recruitment. In the event that personnel are, I don't like the way this is written, like 2 words at a time. Personnel are affected by SCP-2677. The implants are to be remotely activated. Mobile Task Force Omega, not Ghostbusters, double feature is that's great. Double feature is then to complete the recruitment process and then access whether the personnel in question are affected by Dash A or Dash B. Personnel under the effects of Dash B are to be detained. The area around Dash 1 has been designated as Site 2677. Any unauthorized vehicle approaching the site is to be stopped and investigated. Should the driver be under the influences of Dash A, they are to be administered a amnesiac. Passengers may be recruited as D-class personnel. Civilians under the influence of B are to be detained. Dash 1's terminal is to be monitored at all times. Should unprompted text appear on Dash 1's terminal, Site 2677 is to be put on high alert. All right. So, September 24th, 2020, the following message was opened on every terminal within Site 2677, which I'm glad I went back and read that first part before I did this. Makes more sense. Oh, okay. So Dash 1 needs to be neutralized immediately. You have to hear me out on this one. No matter what your motto represents, what your enemies do, what else has occurred upon the object's destruction, it isn't worth it. As long as Dash 1 is alive, as long as I am alive, the world isn't safe from Master. Disregard whatever I said in the past about helping those poor souls. I need to be killed. Master is among you. They won't let me say their name or rank. That would be going against the programming. Investigate everyone who has ever been involved with Site 2677 affairs. Lock up anyone with a suspicious record. You may just save millions. Do not let them die before me. Master won't let me tell you why, but please, for the love of whatever deity you worship, let me die before them.
Huh. So something is the master of this thing?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And
so the description. Yeah, it gives itself a description too, which is kind of cool. I am a containment unit for the absent monsters, given life by another monster. I provide D-class personnel for the Foundation at a rate less than half that of no less than 7 other individuals' SCP objects to a location without need for them. I send those I thought I cared for into the hands of the monster. I am a failure in every purpose relevant to the Foundation's interest. Do you really need a sapient containment cell? My brother, Site 56, breathes life free of anomalies. And that Unseelie Queen? Okay. Unseelie Queen has resigned to her fate as a prisoner, or as its prisoner. D-class, that carnival of your bags. Wait, what? That carnival of your bags, more per month. This sentence isn't working for me.
That's
It's melting my brain right now.
that's real fucky.
That carnival of your bags more per month. That carnival of yours, comma, bags more per month than I've taken in my lifetime. Jesus Christ.
There it is.
Because you protect, not destroy. Come off it. Master told me what you did with that cup. Who?
What did he do with the cup? I want to see what he did with the cup.
I one time saw Vin Diesel set a cup down and scared a guy away because he was going to kill him with it.
Dude,
you've seen you've seen what I can do. You've seen what I've done. Master did what they did to me just to distract you from what they are doing now. Why do you think Signal B victims are immune to amnesiacs? How would I even know about classified project information? Why would one test instigate that software update of mine? I don't like this writing anymore. It's making me mad. Yeah. Master intended me to be a distraction, thinking you would have the nerve to kill one of your own objects. It's time to prove them wrong. It was 3 years ago today that Master let me know what they were doing. Since then, I have done nothing but cause trouble for the Foundation. Yet, instead of doing the right thing and killing me, you hide me in a nest of red tape, a nest of collapsibles and security restrictions for no reason than to hide the mistake of your past. Please end Master's creation.
So this thing is weird, and I understand the depression now.
Yeah.
Because it just really wants to die.
Yeah, it's a wild thing.
Well, it almost sounds like this thing knows it's capable of doing more than what it's done, and it wants itself destroyed so it doesn't do that thing because whatever its master is like evil or something.
Yeah, I want to know who Master is. Like, I wish there was like some sort of link to get to that besides these things, which I'm assuming these don't work either. Yeah, blocked. Okay.
Well, and they said Master is among you. Now, do they mean the SCP Foundation, or do they mean just humanity in general? That's my question.
Oh, well, you know what? We'll save Dr. Daryl Lloyd for next time.
Oh, yeah, maybe that'll...
It looks pretty long, so I don't want to get into that one right now.
Yeah, we'll favorite that one and come back to it next week.
Yeah, so we have something to look forward to next week.
Yeah, Dr. another Daryl rabbit Lloyd. Hole.
Yeah, Dr. Daryl from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Which I watched a movie with him in it. So do you remember a movie called The Messengers? It was a horror movie and it had Twilight Girl in it, Kristen Stewart.
Is that with Batista too, or no?
I don't think so.
No,
it takes place on the farm with the corn.
I've seen commercials for this or previews, but I never watched it. No,
I love that one. I love that movie. I didn't know they made a second one, and the second one is a little more freaky. It reminds me a little bit of Children of the Corn, but also of Jeepers Creepers. That's Messengers to the Scarecrow, and it's another story about like the people own a farm that's planting corn. But in this one, they find a scarecrow in the back of the barn, like in a secret room.
Yeah.
And he puts it up, and it's Daryl Dixon who finds it. He puts it up in this cornfield, and things start going well for him. Not for others, but for him. So the farm's about to be foreclosed on. And he needs the foreclosure to stop. Next thing you know, the guy's out there hammering down a foreclosure sign, and then he ends up getting mysteriously pushed in front of a diesel that's coming and gets dragged for 3 miles down the road. Or sorry, not 3 miles, 3 hours down the road. Yeah, and then another person ends up dying later, and he ends up like getting money out of it, and it just goes wild. goes wild. Yeah,
I'm gonna add that to my list.
We're seeing a younger him too. He was older than he was in Boondock Saints, but still younger than The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's been around for longer than you'd think if you just watch The Walking Dead. Like, the first time I ever saw him was Boondock Saints, but yeah, I just brought the messengers up. I'm gonna add that to my ever expanding, unending list of stuff to watch.
Yep. I gotta watch Boondock Saints again. That's been a while.
I feel like that movie won't hold up. I haven't watched it solely because I feel like it's shit, and I have like nostalgia for it.
So before we go, let's just look at this really quick because I found this kind of interesting. Share. Boondock Saints. Let's look at these reviews. So IMDb 7.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 28 or 26%.
Jesus.
That is a big difference. And I don't agree with Rotten Tomatoes at all. I mean, at least from last time I watched it, which was at least 5 to 7 years ago. It was great. It's also, if you don't know the F word, you're definitely going to learn it from this movie. They say it at least 100 times.
I haven't watched this movie in at least a decade. It's easily been at least a decade, probably closer to 2. I watched it when I was real young, a lot. My friends and I thought we were edgy and cool, and we'd quote from it. And then I never watched it again. And I don't want to. I just have a feeling it's going to suck.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll rewatch it. It's free on Peacock, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, let me know if this one holds up.
It's not free because you have to pay for Peacock. I mean, I personally don't have to pay for it because I got it with my internet, which I guess I'm paying for it because my internet rips me off with its high price. But that's another story.
Yeah, that's a whole other bag.
Yeah, the word free has a meaning, and I did a whole video on it on Thursday, so check that one out because I hate things being called free when you have to pay for them, even though I literally just did it.
Well, here you go. Here's the thing. Does it become free if it costs, like basically you're paying for a service and you get something with the service that's free, like Peacock? If what you would have to pay for Peacock on top of that service is less than the price that you're paying for that service alone while still getting Peacock, is it not considered free then at that point? You see what I'm saying?
Isn't it just part of the service?
Well, so how do I explain this? Like, okay, we're just going to throw numbers out there. None of this is legit, but just numbers. Let's say I pay for Costco. Let's do Costco, okay? I eat a lot of pizza. Pizza is my primary food group, okay? Let's say I pay for Costco and I eat 18 pizzas a month, which is probably accurate. After you've eaten 4 pizzas, Costco pizzas, you've eaten 4 Costco pizzas, every pizza after that is free, effectively. It like you basically are getting pizza for free. Does that make sense? Because so is it free because you're paying for the membership, but you've already paid back? Like if you're comparing getting pizzas from Costco to buying pizzas from Domino's, any pizza after the 4th pizza from Costco would be free compared to a Domino's pizza.
I would just consider it part of the service.
Yeah, you can see it could go like I believe, like I consider it part of the service, but I could see someone calling it free at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's basically what they do with the games. Like it's your free games because you're paying for the service, but technically that service cost you, like back when I was still paying for it, like $60. That's one game.
Yeah.
So after like the 3rd month, you've definitely made more than your money back because you have 3 games.
Yeah.
But still, you're paying for it, so I just can't get over that. To me, it has to never have cost a penny to you.
Yeah, yeah, that's free. Which nothing is free.
I mean, hey, there's times in the summer you can go to a gas station and get a free cup for water.
Oh yeah, or you know what? I think you talked about this in your video. Epic, the Epic Game Store, they have free games.
Absolutely free. You just got to sign up, which takes a little bit of your time, which I guess that's a way they're charging you because you got to take 2 minutes to sign up. We're charging you.
Dude, I don't get why people hate that.
Yeah. I mean, the only time I get it is when it comes down to the Helldiver situation. You got to sign up for PlayStation Plus. I get it. It doesn't affect everybody. Most people who are complaining about it, it didn't affect them at all. But yeah, you would have to sign up for it and it costs you $0 because they just want you to create an account. That was it. But some countries don't have that, so they can't play the game then. I get that for those people. But why are you complaining about like it's affecting you when it's not affecting you at all? You're just lazy and don't want to spend 20 seconds signing up for something, which is just click, 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 click. You're done.
It's so easy to make an account, dude. It's so easy. Just like for Epic. So, okay, like people are pissed off that a game might come to Epic first before it comes to Steam. You create an account on Epic in like literally a minute tops. And then all you have to do is put the shortcut on your desktop or on your bar at the bottom of the computer and just click that button that says Epic. Okay. And then you could get games. So it's like, you're so lazy you can't click a button once.
Yeah. That's asking too much. Can't deal with that.
It must be, dude. So I'll stick with Epic, getting my free games whenever I want.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, so that was what we had for this week. I think that was pretty fun. Yeah, so we'll see you again next Saturday. We're going to be putting our videos like normal. That schedule's not going to change at all. Non-live videos are going to stay the same for their schedule. But yeah, so check those out. Check out our ones from last week. And until next time, you guys take care.
Stay safe.